Delighted to be here today and in such a well-attended venue. I'm going to keep it short. It's near lunchtime. This is about insurance and risk, so I don't want the risk of everybody disengaging too early. But quickly about us, we're specialists across the renewable energy and energy efficiency sectors. We have a particular focus on the wave and tidal sector, which we've been engaged with many of the early technology developers and project developers, both here in Wales and generally around the UK. We like to engage with people early enough to help them to understand the broader spectrum of risks, often eventually to help them not only define those, but then to procure the best insurance program to fit within a risk allocation strategy thereafter. This slide I like to think of as unfamiliarity breeds contempt. So if you go, what I mean by that, if you go to the insurance industry with a marine energy device, their first thought is things go wrong at sea, and when they go wrong, they're very expensive and they take a long time to fix. They like, they're remarkably risk averse as a species, insurers. They like things like earthquakes in Tokyo and the like, which sound scary, but there's stacks of data out there. If, by contrast, you go to them with a device that looks alien, with a plan for a methodology for installation and moorings, and don't demonstrate a clear knowledge of the site, and you don't demonstrate experience amongst your contractors and suppliers and so on and so forth, they start to get very, very nervous indeed, and you're potentially facing uninsurability. How do you avoid that? In short, talk to them early enough that you talk through the likes of myself and our competitors, get to some of the main lead insurers well before you're actually thinking, I need to buy some insurance now. Find out what they want to know from the third-party verification that you're already engaged in the marine warranty surveyors and so on and so forth, so that as part of your project planning, you're lining up the sort of things that they will want to know down the line when you get there. Your key other point there, many of these points on my slides have been touched on in detail in earlier presentations, so I won't dwell on them. But a key point there, you're contracting, the allocation of risks between project developers, contractors, and so on and so forth. That needs to be thought through very carefully. It shouldn't just end up being a game of pass the parcel. Think through who's best placed to take what risks and allocate and work through them accordingly. Technology uncertainty, again, these are not unfamiliar themes, I'm sure. Essentially, think through life of the project. Think what it's going to cost when the inevitable happens and bits break, when you end up having to send a vessel out to fix it. How are you going to get there? How long will it take? How are you going to dig it out of the seabed, etc., as the case may be? The more you can demonstrate your understanding of these issues, the more confidence the insurance market's going to have in your project and your technology down the line. Oops. So I promised to keep it short. Essentially, we have an environment out there in the city where you've seen the difficulties with the finance side. The insurance side isn't dissimilar. We've had leaders, key players in the sector who will happily stand up in conferences and say, my wave and tidal books cost me £5 in claims for every £1 in premium I've received. And they do, but those same leaders are often still in the game. They see that as an investment in the future. But what they're looking for when you come along down the line, they've now got a list of lessons learned from having paid out quite a lot of claims in various phases, particularly in deployment in projects, but cabling, blade repairs, and so on and so forth, all the sort of things you might expect to be out there. And they want to see that the same lessons learned that they've paid out for are being reflected in the propositions coming to them from new participants, new projects. So you need to get out there and get the third-party expertise from your the various advisors that's going to help you put together that story. Okay, thank you very much.